Let me ask you a question, sis. I want to ask you and your daughter, Maury and MJ, right? I want to ask you both a question. So, you believe in God, right? You believe in a higher power? So that higher power, does he look like you?
I know.
He does? So you pray to a black God, right? So now, your daughter, if I was to ask her which one is Christ, which one she think? Amara is the name, right?
For her, I haven't exposed her to religion because me, specifically, I grew up in foster care. And one of my foster parents was actually a white family. And they sent me to conversion camps.
Okay. So now let me say you don't teach her religion, right? But guess what?
I do teach her about African American history.
But even that within itself is still a snare or a trap for our people. If I was to ask your little daughter which one is God, hey sis, which one is God? Can you point at Christ? Which one you think is God?
Which one you think is God?
She locked out.
You see that? How does she know that? Because you're not teaching her anything, but guess what? She's seeing these things when she goes to public school.
No, not.
When she goes to public school, maybe she has parents and grandparents and things like that. This thing, this image right here, this white image right here has been ingrained in her mind. So get that in Deuteronomy about teaching the kids. I'm gonna show you how to combat that. Because if you're not teaching her, she's vulnerable to learn anything. So you gotta teach her these scriptures. You gotta teach her that not only African American history, because African American is the byword. It came from two white men, Leo Scipio Africanus and Amerigo Vespucci.
Right.
Those are two white men. We can't produce a black nation off two white men, right?
No.
So that within itself is not a lie. So you gotta teach her this. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 7. And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children.
So it says you gotta teach them diligently. You gotta teach your kids diligently the commandments of God. Because if we're not teaching our kids they're learning something. They're learning something. They're consuming something if it's not the Bible. Whether we know it or not, we have to put these laws ingrained into our kids. Read that.
And shall talk of them when thou sittest in thine house.
So we gotta say, hey, today's the Sabbath. Hey, we can't wear pants. Hey, Christ is the black man, according to the Bible, with white hair and red eyes. He's a black man. He looks just like you and your daughter. Those are the things you gotta teach your daughter, sis, because she can't be out here thinking God is white. You gotta teach her those things, right? Read on.
Thank you.
And when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
Any opportunity we get, we gotta teach our young kids. Why? Get that Psalms 119 and 100. Psalms 119 and verse 100. We gotta teach our kids, because if we don't teach them, another nation's gonna take our kids and ingrain them with things that we don't want them to know.
That's right.
Hey sis, come deal with me, sis. I'm asking you a question. Come here. Come here real quick, sis. Read that.
The book of Psalms chapter 119 verse 100. I understand more than the ancients.
What?
I understand more than the ancients.
How can a young man understand more than an aged man? Because Deuteronomy chapter 6 was applied. His parents sat him down and taught him about these things. He taught him how to keep the commandments. He taught him how to dress. He taught him how to eat. He taught him how to walk. He taught him these things. Read on.
Because I keep thy precepts.
Because I what?
Because I keep thy precepts.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.